If you were trapped in a jar, you couldn't see the label. Similarly, if you were trapped in your mind, totally immersed in and identified with every thought and feeling, you cannot see what a neurotic mess your mind is. You have a roommate in your head, but it's a roommate from hell. Your mind is like a clenched fist, holding everything so tight, not letting go of anything. We're all just a walking conversation, criticizing, complaining, judging, labeling, comparing, demanding, preferences. I like this, I don't like that. Should I continue? Okay. Craving, desiring, clinging, attaching, resisting. I don't want what I have. I don't want to be here. The airport, the line in the supermarket, what have you. Seeking. I want what I don't have. I want the new iPhone, a bigger car, a bigger home, a new boyfriend. Yet there's more. We also are dwelling in the past or imagining in the future. We're dragging our past with us, carrying it around everywhere we go, reliving conversations and arguments, replaying Christmas dinner fights with our family, recycling text messages, phone calls, reliving events and experiences that didn't fully process and got stuck within us. We're dragging all that with us all day, every day, and then we're also imagining in the future, trying to find certainty in uncertainty. I like to say we're trying to avoid a bad future that hasn't happened yet. Trying to predict everything. So we have all this worry and concern and anxiety, which is future-based. All this is going on in your head. It's a neurotic mess. It's been estimated that we have 60,000 thoughts per day, of which 95% are the same thoughts you had yesterday. So we're just recycling all of this, living in an echo chamber, reliving, replaying, rehashing, and then imagining and trying to fix and reconcile in the future. All the while judging and criticizing and labeling, clinging to some things, attaching, resisting, seeking. Can you see all this mind-made activity going on? And then we wonder why you get home from work. You got to have a couple drinks and maybe pop a Prozac or something or call your doctor. We're all just walking conversations carrying all of this around. And it's like a clenched fist, living in a bubble of fear, trying to protect our stuff because we have all these insecurities and feelings of inadequacies. There's so much going on in your mind. And yet, as I said, we're so immersed in and identified with it, we don't even know this mind-made activity. We just know that we're fatigued and we're exhausted and we're sad and not feeling joy and vitality, not having inner peace and happiness, and then wondering why. It's because you have all this mind-made activity going on in your head. I said in another video, you have a river of joy that flows within you, but all this neurotic mess in your head is creating all these stoppages and blockages like rocks in this river. And so this river of joy, which is your natural state, is not flowing because we have all these blockages. And yet, like the fish in the water that don't know what water is, we are so immersed in and identified with these thoughts, we don't even know all this mind-made activity or are not aware of it. We're not observing it. So my hope is you can step out of this river of thoughts, get up on the riverbank and observe the river and put some space and separation between your thoughts and your true self, your essential self. And what is that? That is awareness. Awareness is your true essential self. Awareness is in all experience, but it is not the experience. Awareness is intimate with, yet free from experience. Awareness is your superpower. You were born with awareness. Awareness has been with you all your life. When you were a toddler, you're a teen, in your 20s, your 30s, whatever age you are, awareness has always been there. Even when you're sleeping. You have a crazy wild dream and you turn to your partner and go, gosh, that was an insane dream I had last night. How do you know? Because awareness was there watching. And this awareness has always been with you. It's intimate with, yet free from experience, meaning it is always whole. It is always complete. It is never diminished or tarnished with whatever you are experiencing. You could be in a deep, dark depression. You could be elated, joyful because you're in love. Awareness is just back there like a video camera recording it all. Intimate with, yet free from the experience. Just watching it all. But unlike your mind, which steps in and says, hey, I got this because I can judge and compare and label and criticize and complain and all that stuff, your awareness is just watching it all without any judgment, without any complaining, without any suffering. And that is the key, because it's your mind and your ego that is creating all of this suffering with all its needs and demands. Your mind has a formula for happiness. It says if all of you, everybody, behaves exactly the way I want you to, and life and events unfold exactly the way I want them to, then I can be happy. But I got news for you. Life is messy. People don't behave the way you want. Events will not always unfold the way you want. And last time I checked, I didn't get the memo that you were in charge of the universe. So for you to make these demands and try to control your life and live in this bubble of fear where you're like, okay, everybody behave the way I want and events unfold the way I want, it's not going to work. And at some point in your life, you realize that. And maybe that's where you are now. And that's maybe why you're tuning into videos like this and you're saying, this formula for happiness I've had all my life doesn't seem to be working anymore, or not bringing me this inner peace and this happiness and this joy and vitality that I want. And yet you know intuitively that there is this river of joy that flows within you, because you felt it very occasionally when you step out of your mind and felt it. Maybe when you're in love, maybe when you're in nature, saw a beautiful sunset, or just walking in a forest or hiking, and you're just so blown away by nature that your mind-made activity just stops, and you stop and drop into being. Being is awareness, and you're just like, wow, that feels good. And the beautiful thing is, as I said, this awareness is with you all the time. It is always available to you. Awareness is your superpower. You just need to access it. And if you can access it, this clenched fist that doesn't let go opens up. And you start flowing, and that river of joy starts flowing with fluidity. There's no more blockages and no rocks to block you anymore. And that's where I want you to get, to experience, to feel. I call it transcendence, when you step out of your mind, step out of this mental prison that we are all trapped in. And the metaphor again is you step out of this river of thoughts and you're up on the riverbank observing them all now, and you have some space and separation, so you're not clinging and attaching to these thoughts anymore, and you no longer identify with them, because you realize you are this awareness in the background watching all of that. And awareness is in all experience, but you are not the experience. Similarly, awareness is observing all your thoughts, but you are not your thoughts. And if you get that, there's a paradigm shift there, because now you go out into the world and you say, my awareness knows my thoughts and feelings and the world. So you're not immersed in those thoughts and feelings anymore. You have the space and separation because you're now making awareness your home base. And that is a massive paradigm shift if you can go through life that way. And that's what I mean by transcendence, where you see the reality of this mind-made activity and this neurotic mess that we've all created with demands and preferences and resisting and seeking, and now say, okay, I see all that mind-made activity, but I'm back here. My true self, my essential self is back here watching all that and no longer identifying with that, even though experience is intimate with and yet free from all the experience and events and things that you experience in daily life. So I have a small challenge for you. Maybe you can try it for the remainder of this day today or do it tomorrow, where you go through life, and I actually wrote it here. If it's not going on outside, it's not going on inside. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're at work today. Your boss yells at you, or you get in a fight with a coworker, or you have a difficult client. But now you're at home making dinner in the comfort of your home, and yet you're reliving everything that went at work today, replaying the argument, the conflict, or the client said and all that stuff. And yet here you are in the comforts of your home trying to enjoy a nice dinner. Transcendence is, if it's not going on outside, it's not going on inside. So if you were in the comforts of your home, you be in the moment and you be in your home, not reliving and recycling what just happened to you today or yesterday or a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. If it's not going on outside, meaning the outside world, it's not going on inside, meaning in my mind. You let it go. That clenched fist, it opens up and you just let go. And you may ask, how do I let go? You don't understand. My boss said this, or my boyfriend said some nasty things last night at dinner. I can't let go. You actually can. You relax and release. You simply relax and release, and you realize you come to some point in your life where you just don't want this garbage in your head anymore. You're trying to enjoy a nice dinner. If you can stay present in the comforts of your home, you know that the past is past and you cannot change the past, so let it go. And you just practice that a bit with some of the smaller stuff, and eventually you can do that with everything in your life. As the book says, wherever you go, there you are. So why not be wherever you are in the present moment? If you're at the beach, you're at the beach. If you're having coffee with a friend, you're having coffee with a friend. If you're at home having dinner, you're home at dinner. If you're at work, you're at work. If you're in the gym, you're in the gym. Stay present in the moment. Don't drag your past with you. Don't project out into the future. You can do it. If you come from awareness, you're always in your present moment. And why is this so important? Because there's no suffering in awareness. There's just peace, happiness, and joy and vitality. And you come to realize in this present moment, there's just situations, there's not problems. And yes, you'll have challenges, but you don't struggle with the challenges anymore because you're always present in the moment. And all that neurotic mess that I introduced this video with, the judging, the criticizing, the labeling, the resisting, the seeking, the dragging the past, imagining into the future. If you just stay present, get out of your mind, this mental prison, and see what all that mind-made activity has just been destroying you and not allowing you to feel joy and vitality, you'll see that life just flows so much easier. That river of joy just flows within you without all these blockages anymore. And that's where I want you to get to. So again, my challenge to you today, if it's not going on outside, it's not going on inside. Be where you are. Wherever you go, there you are. Be here now. Don't drag it with you, and see how your life changes. Start with the small stuff first, but you can actually do it with anything where you just let go. That clenched fist just opens up, and you're free. And you'll feel this peace and happiness and light and levity and abundance and joy and vitality, because life just flows for you so much easier. Transcend the mind. Start with that. If it's not going on outside, it's not going on inside. You're just not going to allow it to be. And when you see or observe that thought come in about what happened at work this morning, or that argument you had with your boyfriend last night, or Christmas dinner with your family months ago, you just let it go. Relax and release. And you're back here in the present moment, whatever you're doing, having dinner, at the beach, at the gym, yoga, whatever. It's a game changer. Try it. Awareness can be your home base. Awareness is your superpower. And that is your true and essential self. So why not access it and see how your life changes? Onward and upward. Love and light.